Game number 1 here of our semi-finals in the Eggs Cup. We have Team Liquid Metal versus Watchparty, and these are our probably 2 high teams. This could well have been the grand final. We had a little bit of a the way the seeding worked. These guys have ended up against each other in the semi-finals, but these are definitely going to be. This is going to be an absolute incredible match to watch here. And starting off with BOE, it's a best of 3. And Hanzo and Garrosh already banned out.
Yeah, 3 points already on either side for both of these teams for qualification. If they do go on to win here, they guarantee at least 5, could even earn 8 points, I think. Is that true?
Yes, 8 points for the win, which pretty much guarantees you that qualification point in the end.
Yeah. At this point, given that I think... oh no, Franco's Egg Postles were signed up today, weren't they? It's okay. No one's feeling too guaranteed just yet. Anything could happen. A little bit of a look elsewhere whilst we finish this draft off. Obviously, these two plays we saw Watchparty. Oh,
sorry, no, go ahead.
Watchparty took out Team Norway in order to get here. To first pick Dahaka on Battlefield of Lapaka. Oh, Lapaka, what have you cooked?
These teams do love to cook, and Team Liquid Metal, they're a fun team. They're teams that some players here don't usually play normal Heroes Land. They're more sort of ready for those big tournaments and these big ticket tournaments like the Eggs Cup, where egg cups are on the line.
Who would want more than an egg cup?
As we do have Li Ming here and Urel picked up. Usual stuff. Of course, the hacker can go through some of these bushes quite nicely, but Urel and Li Ming definitely far more standard and expected here from Team Liquid Metal.
Yeah, I guess they really want to have the ability to not win that first race. And there we see why. The Anduin Genji line lets them be so aggressive in team fights, but they're sacking a bit of race, right? Genji's race is just not going to be as strong as the top races. It's not terrible, but it's not going to win the first objective. And so you're probably going to be playing down a fort, maybe 2, by the time you get to level 13, level 14, and your engaged comp really starts getting picks and winning you the game. That Dahaka makes it a lot easier for you to save your keeps and then also tunnel into the big fights when it matters. So I like what they're doing. I think they had an idea early that they didn't want to draft for race, and so with that plan, they're going to take the Dahaka and make it safe. But it does mean your opponents do basically get to draft the race comp that they want. So there is still some benefit for the blue team when you set up like this.
Yeah, Diablo and Anubrak both gone. Tanks are going to be whittled down. Of course, that Johanna's still available, but not often picked up on this map by the high-level players. And we have Varian instead. And it's going to be a Brightwing to support. Obviously, getting a polymorph on that Genji can be very, very useful. But are you even going to be able to click the polymorph button when you get light bombed and then X-striked?
Just self-cleanse based on the light bomb audio cue.
Ah, yeah, true. It's all
I don't know what your point is, Trans. You time the self cleanse after you hear the light bomb audio cue. Same time for a light bomb every time. Just game it. Everyone in chat knows exactly how long it is from light bomb audio cue to the exact millisecond when you push the D key, right? That's common knowledge. I do like the Chromie as a response to the Brightwing. Sorry, returning to sanity. I love this Chromie here. They see they don't have a cleanse. They've opted for the Brightwing instead, and so they're going to try and put loops on top of the tank, make Veren's game really difficult, pressure him, pressure Urel a little bit as well. Maybe she has more tools for loop. The combination of Ardent and an E usually gets her out of danger on Battlefield of Eternity, but depending on where she is and where she overextends, she can be punished.
So, last pick coming in here, it is Sylvanas. And I didn't put the predictions up. We'll have those predictions up very, very soon. Of course, we went into this very quickly. So, of course, on one side, we do have Team Liquid Metal with fan favorite Valar, I believe, on them. And then Watchparty on the other side. So, in about 20 seconds, make sure you get your predictions. Well, 20 seconds ago. Get your predictions in. Luca, how do you feel about these two drafts? Which way are you feeling the wind blowing? Well, let's get into this game number 1 of our semi-final of Qualifier 2 in the Eggs Cup. We have Team Liquid Metal in the blue with Harkness on Varian, Captain Rex on Brightwing, Commander Rex on Sylvanas, Argus on Li Ming, and Urel played by Valar.
Oh dear, the Tino fans are in the chat. As on our red team, it's going to be Ranella on Dahaka, Daranushka on that Chromie, Lapaka on the Genji, Bishops on Anduin, and I don't know how I'm going to say that on the Muradin trans.
Oh, I hope we've got... I don't think Fluttershy's in the chat today to help translate, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't know. As we do have Harkness here trying to just trade out Genji up in the top lane instead. But this Sylvanas composition, not opting to go for any sort of cheese this time, will be looking just to keep it safe and sane. As out comes Muradin, looking for the stun, finds it onto that Sylvanas, who doesn't get away from the inevitable Genji Swift Strike.
Yeah, Genji is just so strong. You can see why the Haka pickup is made to try and sort of legalize that early Genji. They really want to have that engage on their side and not on their opponent's team.
Yeah, okay. With this, though, the red team, they didn't get too much of an advantage. A very early kill here. They're looking to try and get onto Bishops as well without even their Sylvanas yet. Good body blocks coming out here from Muradin, and it's going to be one kill. Genji tries to find another, but it's going to be a good polymorph with a revenge against the Genji.
Maybe getting a little bit too carried away there. Hlapaka is going to get punished. Rex holding his polymorph very nicely, but they were able to pick off Verin as Hlapaka went in for that pick. So 1-for-1 trade in the end. But bleeding successfully stemmed by Liquid Metal. They're going to feel quite good about the fact they were able to pick up a kill there.
I think it is Morena, by the way. I think that is who's on
Morena.
Nice. We might get corrected on that. But let's see, as, of course, this is an early kills. It's not usually what we expect to see from these high-level games. I think they're playing a little bit fast, a little bit loose. Of course, this is the X Cup. Maybe they're having a little bit of fun, letting their hair down. As, obviously, an Egg Cup on the line is a lot. But for some of them, they might just be feeling like they're here to enjoy a bit of Heroes of the Storm.
I think also when you have Brightwing Variant, you have a lot of early weakness, and a lot of your early game requires you to be very accurate. As we see a big rotation for Valar's camp in the top side, and Bishops with the little pickup over the wall there from Anduin. Rotation that might not have been caught, but Chromie did get caught in the bottom side. Taunt was online, but had not yet been picked.
Yeah, I mean, who needs it? Who needs it? Sometimes you just want that additional auto attack damage before it gets taken away from you? Question mark? Is that what Taunt does still? No, it just gives you more bonuses. There's some of them that give you less things. There's Commander X's being focused up here on the top. Brightwing is going to be able to teleport, but not in time. As Hlapaka gets the kill.
Yeah, no, nice pick up there in the top lane, and you can see no letting up here. The red team are coming in. They are going to try and take down this engage into the camp. They're going to get a pick off on Brightwing. Can they get anything else here? Doesn't look like that's going to be available.
No, certainly not, as we do see a retreat from the red team now. Feeling like they've got enough 5 kills to do. They have a level lead on Battlefield Eternity. With their composition, they're feeling pretty good about this right now. The Blues will have to do something special to come back into this game. You know, often on Battlefield Eternity, when you get behind Luca, you stay behind. It's just so hard to find a grip into it.
Yeah, I think that is true for teams that are both momentum-based. I am slightly worried that the blue team are a bit too strong in like the mid game to be this far behind. You can try and stabilize, and a couple of picks will let you start sending it the other way. But already we can see that the damage coming out is so big.
Yeah, and look at this. The race is actually so close. In the red team just get it by a Gnat's Whisker. Harkness coming out with a good taunt onto Genji. Tried to be follow up, but out comes Moraes with that good stun on Argus. Dahaka burrowing in the back, but his roots coming out from Bishop, so it's going to be halting this team fight as Ronella looks for something, finds the tongue onto Uriel, and it is an execution once again here from the red team.
Yeah, no, definitely a nice engage from them, and they're really finding some momentum with this comp. I do think it's come online for them earlier than they would have expected it to. Maybe playing into that level 1 variant just gave them confidence and sort of the slight mental edge. They're going to get this wall down in the bottom lane. A nice taunt does come out from Muradin here, but he is going to be able to jump away. The Immortal will go down, and with that, we are going to see the red team retreat. Half a thought, not a bad start.
No, definitely not. Especially with their composition. You know, you're not expecting a Genji Chromie composition to get a lot of structure damage. They don't really have it altogether. Genji, of course, waiting for that level 13 Shingun talent, and Chromie has a bit of reduced damage with her Qs against structures anyway. But it is all about getting that kill pressure, getting those minions in. But Commander X and Argus doing a grand job clearing up the objective and the minions. And now thinking about this potential bottom lane sides. But I love how Morenus just plays so aggressively on the side of things. Will get polymorphed, will get taunted, but will absolutely walk away from this with a large scratch in their HP bar.
There's definitely a scratch, and maybe stepping up here was a little bit too greedy. The grip combined with the step away is going to help, but they're going to get Li Ming in return. Big engage. Unfortunately, the loop unnecessary. Would have been nicer on the variant, I suppose. They could have picked up more, but sometimes one kill is all you need. They're now going to walk opposite this fort and say either you match my soak in the Dahaka or you start giving up a building.
Yeah, I mean, that was superbly played here once again by the red team. There were dangers, and I think, Valor had the right idea of trying to swap targets, but by that time, it was just giving too much space to Chromie to do damage, and of course, Genji to be able to come in. We're just seeing bully after bully from Muradin and Dahaka. They come in, they make a lot of noise, and they stop you from absolutely executing your composition how they want to play.
Yeah, level 10s, though, are almost online here. We've already seen the loop. We haven't spoken too much about that yet. I think that makes a lot more sense than Sands based on the game we're playing. Neither side is trying to be slow here. They both want to be quick and aggressive, and we're definitely going to see Sands get more speed out and more aggression. Muradin is a little bit deep here. He's not got a lot of friends, but in comes the rotation from the top side. They're trying to get some space around their Immortal as much as they can, but they're not raising themselves. The lick, though, does go down onto Captain Rex on the right wing.
Yeah, even using their Soothing Mist here to try and get out of the way. Oh, no, Captain Rex here also getting there. Light Bomb comes and lands on them. It's going to be a double kill here as Varren equally is going to go down.
Yeah, really nice set of kills there. Very well done. And now we're going to see them start to pick up that race. But as we do see that happen... No, I'm going mad. Well, yeah, Chromie on her own. Just kind of chilling, kind of racing, having a good time, chance.
Yeah, red team are ahead. So blue team are having to soak up here for level 10. Of course, once they get that, it's a few more tools. Brightwing will have a bit more mobility. Varian can maybe tank a few more spell shots with a shield wall if they really want. But out comes the stun here onto Valar. They will be able to pick up their level 10 talent should they want, should they think they can get out of here. They are going to do it. The stuns come out though, and it is just not a breath there for them to be able to press that R button.
So much fantastic aggression here coming out, and it's just absolutely uncontrollable, right? There's nothing they can do, as another huge light bomb engage is going to end Sylve. It's going to end Brightwing, and Chromie meanwhile just hanging out in the back waiting for her team to be ready.
Argus in a little bit of trouble, but Chromie able to land a lot of their abilities. Sand being dodged, but the red team now here are picked up 13 kills to 2, and it just seems like this Genji is a little bit much to manage at times, especially with the amount of damage that Chromie is equally putting out onto the targets beforehand. So,
yeah.
Immortals coming down top lane. Will they be able to get much more? Yrel in a little bit of danger. Does have their heroic if they need to, but I think they're going to be able to get away beforehand. Temporal Loop comes out, and blue team should be fine for a bit of defense this time.
Yeah, they're going to try and stand up and hold this Immortal. The Light Bomb is going to be back in 5 seconds, though, so they are going to try and play for that. But down in the bottom side, Yrel has been caught out. She does have her ultimate ready. There isn't quite a lick available here, but the stun comes down. Muradin gets the Light Bomb instead of the Genji. Yrel will go down. Lapaka now turning up to see what more he can gain here. The stun, unfortunately, doesn't connect on to Commander Rex, but Variant is falling lower and lower here. He's going to go down. The Dragon Blade from Lapaka. That's when you know you're feeling ahead. Yeah,
I think Dragon Blade is definitely a preference, and I mean, arguably there's not a lot of... I mean, the CC is obviously Brightwing's polymorph, so playing around that, you might be okay. As the tongue comes out, does connect with Commander Rex, but a good polymorph from Captain Rex means that they are able to get away still. Haplaka looking to try and get there. It's a good stun from Valar. However, the damage has just been really well peeled away. The aggression of Muradin here. A kill goes over to Genji, but this keep so battered by this Immortal.
Yeah, no, the keep has fallen quite low here. Still not allowed to trace words. But the kill is nice. It's a good pickup here. They've still got some forts hanging out in their lanes. There's still play. It feels really bad for them. They're 12 kills down in this game, but they're not out. right? That is what is most crucial here.
Yeah, for sure. You know, there's certainly comeback areas, but they have Li Ming, one of the main sort of comeback swings that they can go for. They've got a few tools in the shed coming out at level 13 beyond that. Sylvanas, of course, gets a little bit more damage, and if the game goes on later, they may well find something, especially as Chromie can be quite front-loaded. But Harkness in a little bit of trouble here, is having to battle away against Mirana, but...
Meanwhile, Valar's gone down in the top side there too, both Renella and Darnichka. Nice loop there, able to pick up that Yrel. Very well done indeed. And we're just going to see the pressure start to form on this top keep, Transparent.
And that is what you can do here. You know, the macro play, when you're ahead, allowing to push in. Commander X does come down here to cleanse it out. Oh, not quite finding it as the Hacker has to get pulled away, is able to get their essence, does burrow underneath. They get the keep, but honestly, could have been a really good kill for the Blues had they got it. So the red team all being there, rotating sensibly, allows them to keep
a nice
the momentum.
try and a good engage. Oh, but the stun coming out here from Muradin. Can they find Annie a follow-up? No sign yet of Klapaka. He's just about able to make it in time to play for the Ming. She will go down. Now the light bomb is in. They're going to try and get on top of Captain Rex. Meanwhile, in the backside, Varian will go down. But Klapaka just wants more, diving in as deep as he can go. Gonna see the Yrel go down, and that is 3-0 again in favor of our red team.
Yeah, so they're going to come over, try and start the race on this Immortal, really put that pressure on. And BOE just seems to be one of those maps where the blue team are not quite getting their claws in. Any opportunity, it seems like something good's happening for them. The red team are just there to bat them right back down. Level 16 is certainly going to be a good advantage for them. And Genji's even contemplating on what they're going to take.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to go into that deflect build. I guess trying to just get as much damage out as possible. Going to get some of the burst sent back. So maybe when he steps into Li Ming combos with that deflect up, he's going to get maximum value from that. It's going to synergize a little bit with his deflect 7, that gives him 100% of the damage blocked. So that's going to be nice. But they're going to try and play for Muradin down here in the bottom lane. Muradin actually is going to just turn around and start playing for Li Ming. He doesn't care, and he is almost going to get Li Ming. She does not look like she has anywhere safe to run now, as Genji is just going to get that kill. The light bomb comes down. We're going to see Harkness getting played for now on this variant as well. That is a second kill. Muradin's not done. Commander Rex on the Sylph is going to be able to escape to safety, but safety is a relative term when you have a full shield Immortal marching at your only keep.
Luca, why is it when I play Muradin like this, I just die instantly? Why?
Same.
How does Mirana's get away with it? How is this happening? I just want to know.
I think he's just better than us.
I think he most likely is, as this red team is marching down this bot lane, really trying to make something happen. Opening up this last and final structure here for the Blues.
I mean, you know, we can talk about the fact that there's not a lot of pressure on, as that's a really big engage that doesn't quite come out there though. A nice try. 3/4 or half a shield as the Immortal's still walking in, no chance. And again, she's going in. The deflect is up. The silence. Is this going to be enough to finally net them some kills? No, it's going to be Commander Rex going down. The X-Strike not able, or the X-Strike, the Dragon Strike not able to bring the light bomb close enough, but the shields are up on the Immortal, and they are not going to be up on the core for much longer, Trans.
Yeah, down to 96% so far, but Anduin does indeed fall. The Argus can try and find something, but this Immortal is so big, and the Chromie gets the kill as well. Oh, it's just pain after pain here, as this Immortal will be ending the game. The red team looking very strong, 25 kills to 5, and it's going to be GG. Well played here, as Watchparty takes game number 1 in this best of 3 semi-final.
Yeah, very nicely done there. A lot of aggression from the start. They came in, they had a plan, and they executed that plan incredibly well, Transparent.
Game number 2 here in our best of 3 series for our semi-final of Qualifier 2. And Watchparty had a very decisive game number 1 on Battlefield and Eternity. This is another small map, but do Genji Chromie work quite as well, Luca?
I have never been able to find success with Genji on Tomb of the Spider Queen. And do not believe I haven't tried. Maybe that's the problem with my Genji play. I wouldn't like to say that that's not explicitly what's wrong, but it's such a wave clear focused map, and Genji's wave clear is so lacking. I think we're going to have to see Alpaca play something different. Not, I'm sure that he can't manage it, but going to see a different plan coming out here. It is a very rotation-focused map. It plays out incredibly differently to Battlefield of Eternity. I like this call coming in from Liquid Metal. They looked at map 1, they thought, didn't like that, that went bad, and now they've got a completely different game, a completely different draft they can play, and that's going to let them just kind of almost forget that it happened and just try and win 2 best of ones now against Watchparty.
Yeah, I mean, this is a completely different map right now. You know, Battlefield Eternity, very unique, has a very unique playstyle around it. Tomb of the Spider Queen, completely different, all about wave clear, all about late game as well. A lot of teams like to try and stall out this map and wait for those later stages where the objective actually isn't doing as much and you're sort of playing around the boss. So we could see some boss control as well from these 2 teams. But the Shamada brothers both banned out here, Luca. And the tank choke not quite as strong.
Well, turns out Liquid Metal believe Genji can win on Tomb. I guess if you soak your opponents, you don't have to soak the wave. And it's going to be Johanna first pick coming out. I like this call. I think that it's a very obvious plan. And given that you won the last game quite decisively, taking away the obvious plan and forcing your opponents to do something weird, probably a sensible draft strategy.
Yeah, I like this Johanna as just sort of a sensible first pick here. We've seen Watchparty have that 2-3 slot be their absolute power picks. They let it rip completely and start going for it. But Blaze is going to be picked up here, a good, powerful one. And the Chromie is taken away from Daranushka, who I think has a few heroes in their pool. And Chromie's one of them. Lunara is one of the others. And I think Taronda might be the 3rd main one that they play.
I mean, that is a pool. I like the Chromie pick. Chromie has so much vision control, so much ability to deny space, deny the area around. We are going to see Dahaka as the response here. I do like this Dahaka pickup, and Rhaegar coming out here as well. But they did do a lot of swapping at the end of the last draft, so there's no guarantee that this is a Daranushka Rhaegar.
Yeah, of course, we've seen Bishops play plenty of DPSs in the past as well. It might be just a complete rotation. Especially, you know, Daranushka does have a phenomenal Chromie, as we saw in game number 1. So absolutely worthwhile getting your players on their comfort heroes. We do have Sylvanas banned out, though, from Team Liquid Metal. Not wanting to take it themselves in these next 2 picks, perhaps hoping to adapt their DPS in that last pick slot. So I would expect, you know, this is going to be a healer ban, most likely, from Watchparty, unless they just don't care and they want to go for a tank ban instead.
They could just not care. It could just be the tank ban. There are still some sort of backhand healers you can go. There's a lot of choice there, and so they're actually, they're going to remove the Varian, which is a big pressure point onto Johanna. I think they see the Chromie and they're worried that if they leave Varian up, Chromie, Varian, and another decent anti-tank damage dealer is going to make Alpaca's game very difficult to play. Rhaegar is a good healer, but he isn't the best tank saver in the game. And so that combined with the loop means they're a little bit worried that if they let them play for the Johanna, it could go badly for them.
It's going to be Tracer and Anduin coming out here. That's interesting that they've picked it up so early. Maybe trying to just definitely get a bit of a blow up on Rhaegar, going for that as their focus. I wonder if they've got anything else to come in here, but this is absolutely could be countered a little bit. Obviously, Sylvanas and Varian both banned out. People generally regard them as 2 great heroes against the Tracer. But last 2 picks here, going to be the double DPS, most likely. They could adapt and have like an Uthra in there. It's going to be Cassia and Alarak to really put on a show.
Yeah, I think the blue team were hoping that the threat of a Diablo pickup here might be really useful. Also, technically, that Blaze could be played in the 4-man, but it's going to be Mal'Ganis coming out again. The French team's absolutely loving the Vampire Transparent. I
mean, that is Harkness. Harkness definitely plays the Dark Conversion, by the way. Definitely plays. Now, we've got someone cheering on for a Team Liquid. We've got Team Liquid Metal here. Let's have your predictions in. Let's see. Put your points where your mouth is. Thank you, everyone who's following along here. This is going to be a great series. Let's see how this game number 3 goes. But I do want to see you guys predict your points. Luca, where have you been putting your points here? We have our Alarak Cassia combo, but is the Tracer with the Light Bomb going to be enough to smack him right back in their face?
I like the Tracer light bomb angle, but I think they would have been better off actually trying to focus in on ways to kill that Johanna. I think that the Rhaegar will have enough tools most of the time, especially combined with Alarak's built-in tools, to make it very difficult for the backline to get played for. So I am, again, going to side with Watchparty, but I think it's going to be close.
Well, let's get into game number 2 here. Team Liquid Metal in blue. They need to win this one to stay in the competition for Qualifier 2. So we have Harkness on Mal'Ganis, Argus on Tracer, Valar on Blaze, Commander Rex on the Chromie, and the other Rex, it's Captain Rex on Anduin.
And on our red team, they are Watchparty. I've forgotten already what I asked last time. It's going to be Lapaka this time on the Johanna, Ranella on the Cassia, Daranishka on Rhaegar, Bishops on Dahaka, and it hasn't come back to me transparent.
It's Morenas on the Alarak.
That's the one.
Yes, we already have a little bit of poking around here. I was going to do a whole spiel about I want you to predict. I don't mind if you don't follow or don't subscribe, but I want to see you predict. But we do have this early engage happening right now, trying to find something. Bishops on the flank. They are the Dahaka this time, but a good sleep from Harkness. We know that this Mal'Ganis is consistent. It does do the work. It does what they need it to. And absolutely, Bishops is bruised. And Alarak just doesn't quite find the kill here on Tracer.
Yeah, the fight going on, though, and Alarak has ended up quite deep. Is going to be able to finagle himself out into some space. The Hugger left early. Grip is going to be needed to get Mal'Ganis out in the end there. And as the dust settles, Alarak gets some stacks on the extended lightning, bringing himself closer to that range upgrade, but didn't get the triple hit that he would have hoped to get in that first fight, as Johanna is just going to start stepping up and causing problems topside.
Yeah, out comes Alarak, finds Captain Rex here, the sleep coming out. Oh, the root onto Cassie though, but stepping a little bit far forward. Will be able to get a heal off. It was so brave by Captain Rex, and they get the first blood of this game.
Captain Rex just looked at Cassio and went, "You're not allowed to stand under these towers. I'm not running. I'm going to heal myself and pray." And praying worked for them so well. The devotion to the light coming through as a fantastic first blood pickup there. Look at that.
So brave.
It's almost like he's Eric.
He's just absolutely, obviously, auto attacks on Anduin do heal him up. And so it can be fairly good as we have the Parker being scouted around, having to use Iron Skin. I like to see that this is the light that we hope to see in the blue team. Tracer as well from Argus is going to be an absolute menace for the Reds, even with this Cassia, who should be able to trade fairly nicely into the Tracer.
Yeah, no, absolute menace indeed. One thing we have noticed is Tracer hasn't really taken much time harassing the bottom lane just yet. Normally when you pick her up on this map, her main goal, or not main, but one of her big focuses is trying to pressure that off lane. Instead though, she's going to try and pressure Alarak, has to self-push in order to get himself to safety, but he finds the triple hit. 5 stacks already on that E level 4, and now he is going to be having a great time.
Oh dear, it looks like Chromie tried to time stop Bishops, time stopped Argus instead. However, a good sleep from Harkness means that everybody does get out and away. Oh, the tongue lands on Tracer. They might be in a little bit of trouble, as we are going to see that lightning come in and get the slow. They have to rewind, and they are going to be in such grave danger. It's another good returning kill here for the red team.
Yeah, fantastic picks coming out again here. They're going to try and siege in this middle fort, and when you get that mid wall down, your first objective can be so much more potent. Alarak has stepped up here a little bit. Oh no, that's Johanna who has stepped up here a little bit. I can tell what hero model is which. What are you talking about? But Alpaca is a little bit does still have the D available, is just going to pop it and walk away.
Yeah, really, really good work here from the Reds. They are just poking away, getting that siege damage that is needed. Blue team still absolutely in this game, though. They've not run away with it yet, the Reds. And although Alarak has 103, and that's important slow on the Lightning, they still have a long way to get before it is completely oppressive.
Yes, definitely. The damage isn't stacking up too high yet, but just getting that level 1 quest means that your potential in the late game is so big. Alarak has been caught out in the bush here a little bit, but Mal'Ganis now has to be careful, does need to get to some safety, but Tracer is going to come and escort him out a little bit, and the wave being there going to give a lot of health back at the same time.
As we do have Cassia trying to make sure this siege camp goes in, and it's getting damaged. You know, this is the slow siege, and I love seeing this from high-level play. You just see consistent siege happening across the map. But this is a great rotation here, Luca.
Yeah, they're coming in. Cassia is taking so much damage, but Rhaegar does actually get here. They're 3v4. They are going to pick her up, but the gems will get saved. That is very important. Cassia buying enough time that her gems could be salvaged. Blaze's E isn't going to connect. Anduin is going to try and save his teammate, but he cannot. Morganis goes down. Tracer picks up the gems, but Anduin and Tracer both getting played for here. Captain Rex is in a corner. No way home for him. 3 gems on the deck, but Chromie trading damage out, and suddenly Rex has become the bait. Can they get a pick off here? Commander Rex, though, now he might fall on the Chromie instead. Gonna try and reset the sadism at least on Alarak, but with another pick, the blue team don't feel like they can go in for it anymore. Argus has got a lot of gems, but he's gonna try and get bishops here. The pull from Alarak, the E was just available again. Tracer able to recall and reset herself.
Yeah, Luca, this is going to be a bit of a struggle if they're going to keep playing like these team fights just going on for so long. Desperation coming out from the Blues, really trying to make anything happen, but the red team just playing calm, playing collected. Daranushka there to heal up the Alarak when needed. And they are a little bit closer to level 10, and they have got the Web Weavers. So they're going to be coming down, top, mid, bot, and all of them have already been opened up.
Cassia has been left behind here. The dig is going to come in, but is it going to be in time? Renella going down. Such an important pickup here for the blue team. Facing defending Web Reavers with 10, they are able to do it against a 4 instead of 5-man stack. But there's still a lot of pressure, and it's only Tracer defending this top side right now. Tracer's wave clear, not particularly famous or impressive. Shield and Alarak mean that Tracer's wave clear is now nil, and 25 gems, or 23, sitting on the deck. Rex cannot get there in time, transparent.
No, nor Harkness, who desperately trying. There are fights happening all over the place. Commander Rex trying desperately to take down this Alarak, but a great ancestral healing keeps them alive. Oh, but Chromie able to reset the stacks here, and that is very important, as the snowball might just be stopping. It's hard to say, though, as these structures are going and falling so low. It's a good tunk from Bishops. Harkness in a little bit of danger. These 2 big, hefty frontliners. The spears connect with Mal'Ganis. Potentially the target they didn't want to go for. That's a good dark conversion. Tracer comes in with the bomb. Rhaegar goes down. We knew that would be the focus, and Harkness just is keeping this fight going.
Yeah, a really nice dark conversion, actually, to really flip the tempo in the fight. And they have managed to drop some of the red team's gems on the deck. They do have enough for a 10 of their own, but they are still about 20 gems down in this game. Maybe only 10, actually.
And not just that, Luca, not just that, but the blue team structures look so much worse than the reds. Obviously, there has been an objective against them, but the little amount of siege damage every so often has been a lot. Oh, it's a great interrupt here for Harkness. They're trying to get onto that Alarak, but just couldn't quite manage it.
Yeah, and ISO, though, is going to catch out Anduin, but a nice time trap means Bishops won't be able to get any more for now. The lick does connect. Oh, no. Down goes the Anduin as the objective drops. Both sides losing a pick as their objective comes in. And I think the big chance that the blue team had to get back in this game is going to start falling away from them here. Yeah. Liquid Metal just not able to be aggressive as much as they want to be with the potential 5-man rotation. Tahaka's dig, though, is 40 seconds away. So him in the bot lane is a hard choice. He can't come back. Something
we often talk about on Tomb of the Spider Queen is that ability to clear the waves. Is that, like, how well can they do that? And the red team doesn't really have good wave clear. They've got Johanna, Rhaegar, and Tahaka, who all sort of have average, I'd say. Pretty good for their role, but it's not, clearing them out instantly like Gul'dan. So they have been able to do a little bit at least. But also, I just want to say, it's the first time I've ever connected the combos. Oh, we can't talk about that right now as they are going on to Alarak. The Ancestral comes out, the Temporal Loop as well. The real focus to just get one hero down, and that hero is Alarak. A good time stop puts Johanna in a bad position as they are trying to split that damage up. Blessed Shield just used for the pull, and Captain Rex does not want to repeat of the Ronella tongue the Bishop's tongue even, in their side.
Yeah, now Morganis is a little bit deep here. The red team are making 4 feel like 5, but not something they can keep up for a prolonged ahead of time. And Hapaka is getting called out a couple of times now on this Alarak. It's the risk you run. He doesn't have a lot of easy disengage, and he does have to stand up if he's going to go looking. So if you slightly misread the macro position, if you even slightly believe that you are ahead when you are not, you can really get caught, as Dahaka is going to get engaged on here by Harkness. The instant sleep into dark conversion. Unfortunately for Harkness, he was just too healthy, and so he couldn't do as much damage as he wanted to.
There was no Ancestral, but there was also no DPS from the blue team. Tongue comes out, tries to find something, but not quite connecting. Yeah, I was going to say earlier, oh, Red, I'm not gonna get a chance to say this until after the game. Red team here getting their web weavers, and Harkness does find the Cassia still. Darunushka will be able to cleanse it if needs be, but out comes the temporal loop. It's not gonna matter. It's a great another pickup here for the blue team, but can they successfully defend this time?
Oh, the Pucker's gonna have friends up here. In comes the Dahaka, the lick, the ISO, Anduin goes down, and this time the Cassia falling is not gonna be the end of the game for them. A huge silence stops Chasen from being able to stick to Rhaegar, but she is going to be able to stick to Hapaka, and unfortunately turning away from Darunushka at the last second means that Johanna will go down. But is that enough to be worried? Maybe not. The lick coming out onto Mal'Ganis as Alarak playing 4 Rex on the Chromie. Not quite going to be able to find that, but this fort is a paperweight right now. It is going to fall in seconds, transparent.
Yeah, so now it is time for the triple fort play, basically. The top fort going down easily. Oh, sorry, Alarak pulled in Mal'Ganis here as well. The sleep comes out. Also onto the Rhaegar. It's a good cleanse, though, sacrificing potentially themselves. Ancestral is going to come out, but as is that temporal loop, now it's up to the red team to try and make some sort of play, but no, Rhaegar still goes down. The blue team pushing forward. Alarak falling low. It's a great time stop to stop that Dahaka, who's been such a pain, but the counter-strike, it's going to put damage out still. Harkness lives with 250 HP, and the blue team are pushing forward, all while this objective happens.
Yeah, keep falling in that top lane as the fight carries on. It's going to be Cassia going down here, but Mal'Ganis does fall to Bishops in the backside. So in the end, Red team able to clear up with a 1-for-1, and they don't want to let Blaze go. Valar might be in a lot of danger here. Bishops unfortunately didn't quite have the tongue available. Does now. Can he find it? No, he can't. The bunker used as soon as the tongue was cast either way. Not taking any chances there. Valar did not want to get picked off.
Yeah, this blue team, they have got claws. They've got the teeth. It's coming out here. This series does not deserve to be a 2-0. We want to see a third game between these two phenomenal teams. And yeah, I was going to say earlier, I've never quite connected Dahaka's ultimate and their tongue synergizing. Because as soon as you make that hero blind, they don't know where to dodge for your tongue. And that's what happened to Captain Rex earlier. You know, they were blind from the isolation, and so then Bishops could just walk up and just press tongue directly at them, knowing that Anduin had no idea it was coming for them.
It's true. It does work.
So level 16 to 16 here, Luca. Gems are looking a little bit more in the favor of the blue team. However, they have been a whole turn in behind. Still, Harkness looks for it, finds the Alarak, and of course, oh, Darunushka, are they going to be able to do anything as the counter-strike comes out to stop the temporal loop backwards, but Alarak still goes down. The focus of this blue team has been paramount in every single team fight, but it just keeps going on as Bishops is always there to interrupt any sort of retreat, as well as Haplaka on this Johanna. Anduin goes down, Tracer is very, very low, and Bishops is looking to try and get anything while Blaze clears out that bot lane. This is a 3 versus 4, a good swap here from Harkness, and they try to get Darunushka, but an Ancestral is going to be all they get this time.
Yeah, Lapaka just keeping looking tasty on that Alarak, baiting them in. And because the forts are down now, Johanna can rotate in from such an aggressive angle. Anduin does not like a tank behind him. It's really difficult for him to fight once he loses that position. And so the red team are able to take these scramble fights 4v5 where the position is more important than that extra hero.
Blaze gets tongued here after a good snow from Darunushka. Bishop's trying to just interrupt Blaze, who is being so patient with their bunker. Still, it comes down now as Johanna comes for the flank. 6 seconds until Blessed Shield, but Halaka is falling low. I don't think they have Iron Skin, and the rest of the red team are joined in here. It's a good silence onto the Chromie. The Blessed Shield comes out. Chromie falling lower and lower, able to avoid a little bit of damage, but the isolation is there on Blaze. The blue team has to retreat because the red team are just so healthy.
Yeah, no, a nice engage there, but it did not warrant any fruit. The Anduin wasn't near when they started going, and so they couldn't keep the fight up because there was no one topping their health bars up. But it did for a minute look like the combination of the Mal'Ganis engage and the Blaze stun might be able to find them some value.
Yeah, Mal'Ganis half HP, but he doesn't really care. He has his Dark Conversion. talent up. We are starting to get quite a few stacks though for both Cassia and Alarak. Argus in a little bit of trouble here as they are falling low on HP. This is what the stacks matter. That burst just starts to add up, but out comes it. Counter-Strike not going to be good enough. A good cleanse here comes out though. It's just a little bit too early. Alarak does indeed go down to the temporal loop, and this is still the angle the blue team need. Getting these one pickoffs every single time are going to be so much worse if they can sustain after the pickoff has been made.
Yeah, now building a 4-kill lead in this game. A huge turnaround coming in from Liquid Metal. They are not going down without a fight, and the red team have to steady the ship. They have to stop giving these picks without any compensation. They are going to try and stop the blue team from getting any pay here. But Mal'Ganis is going to look to try and play for Cassia, and that is going to pull them away from Blaze paying topside. Mal'Ganis is falling a little bit low. Has already converted, but it's going to be Hopaka who has to run here right now.
Yeah, Harkness without their heroic, not feeling as brave, but they do get the sleep off on Cassia and to Johanna, but a quick cleanse from both of them keeps them alive. Punish quest complete, and it's going to be a sustained battle here as Harkness looking to try and just get a lot of claws into the red team. Alarak will be making their long way back, and Valkyrie just doesn't quite connect this time.
And with that entire Alarak, the blue team had to sack their mana bards for just one set of turn-ins from Blaze. And now they might even be in more danger. Bishops does have to be a bit careful here on the Dahaki. He does not have any essence. Oh, Tracer not quite caught out by the Alarak there, though, as it looks like, again, kind of by hook or by crook, despite being down a member, our watch party have been able to carry over with the lead they had from the early game into a slightly stronger position.
Yeah, of course, level 20 coming around the corner soon, and there's some great talents for all the teams. We'll see what happens a little bit later as Oplaka a little bit isolated here, but they, of course, will have Iron Skin to be able to walk away should they need it. However, red team are the ones who actually got the turn-in. And that's quite something here. Bishops does find the tongue, but is quickly slept here by Harkness, who also gets the sleep onto Alarak. That is important. Not being able to get that silence off. Ancestral has to come out pre-20 as well. The blue team should be feeling great here. Counter-Strike used, but they're going to come right back here, and Alarak is going to go down.
Yeah, Cleanse overlapped with Counter-Strike, so there wasn't an answer for the second one. But a Web Reaver means the fort is taken down, and once again, Anduin is deep. And so far, that has been all the blue team need to be in a lot of trouble. It doesn't look like Bishops is going to be able to make the space, though. But a lick does go down onto Tracer. He is going to be able to bite some. The big Valkyrie is going to scam Captain Rex out of this game. The pickup onto Anduin. All the while, top keep is falling to Web Reavers, and the blue team can do nothing about it, transparent.
Yeah, this is, of course, upgraded Valkyrie as well, so that damage just really starts to rip through and do some great control, some great CC, and the silence on top of it all is just the icing on the cake. Oh, Blaze here getting caught out. Unfortunately, doesn't have Bunker. Is going to get a good stun onto Bishops, but now it's an isolation onto Mal'Ganis, and they just can't seem to do anything into this red team, who are just bullying them ability after ability. Stun after stun, silence after silence, and they just can't quite get into that engage.
Yeah, much closer this time than last, but we're still in this position where the red team are taking that lead on the map, and they are not looking like they are losing team fights decisively. They don't win every fight, but whenever they go in, they're able to sort of last long enough that when they come back around, they're still gonna, fight it out, get themselves a good position.
I feel like I've spent so long in this bottom lane as well this match. It doesn't usually happen. Oh, Tracer able to get a turn in. Might cost them their lives. They're going to help to blink away, but they are going to get silenced. There's potential stun here coming out from Hoplaka. Oh, it's a good sleep, and that is going to be such a worthwhile thing. Of course, at level 20, we have got Alone in the Dark, so that reduced vision is going to be carrying over, not just from isolation, but now coming in from Mal'Ganis. But we have a...
Yeah, the objective spawning in this mid lane is so pushed in that the objective won't get very far at all. It is going to be able to tidy up the camp at least and save the pressure on the keep. But this is it. This is the moment where Harkness has to go. He does find the sleep on Johanna, which means the red team have to stay around. They got to look after their tank, make sure that she's okay. But they don't have to stay indefinitely. As the Packer does need to be careful. Iron Skin will be used, but he's out, and oh no. Chromie with a little bit of a DC Commander X having some problems, and we're going to just walk back into that pause.
I wasn't checking properly. As this could be a very exciting team fight, Luca. As Harkness goes forward, tries to find someone, is looking to get Johanna, who is the sleeper. Anella also won't be able to find anything, as Vala looks to follow up onto Cassia. Argus there as well, and surely Cassia does indeed go down. A quick cleanse onto Commander X means they are kept alive, and the chaos is just happening as Light Bomb gets denied by that Counter-Strike.
Bishop's in the back, though, finding Anduin. What a fantastic pick off. Rhaegar will go down. Bishop is running down that Chromie. Alarak has fallen. Everyone is dying all over the place. It was a really nice play to have the Dahaka dig around the back, but unfortunately, Cassia and Rhaegar too split in that fight. Ancestral not able to save Cassia when she first got caught. And the blue team, out of nowhere, are going to start pushing in this keep. Papaka's going to buy all the time that he can, but the loop is available. There's only one Iron Skin up to save it. Rex can try and play for him as soon as he starts to fall a little bit lower. They can't stay here forever, though, the blue team. Catapults are going to start hitting their core, so as soon as the keep goes down, they have to make a choice, and I think that choice might have to be boss. It looks like they're running for a second pay instead.
Yeah, I mean, Anduin's coming back in 16, and it will be pretty good, of course. Bishops maybe get something here. 25 gems not needed, by the way. There are still enough on other people, but Bishops, oh, they've got enough essence for the time being, but have they got enough essence to survive a Tracer Bomb, the slow, the rewind as well? Blessed Shield does come out, but this might be a bit of a choice that causes the downfall of the red team. One hero is all you need sometimes to take down, and this could be a boss and turn in play now.
Bishop's absolutely scammed by a pixel. The lick was mid-animation to get Morganis out of that sleep, but the sleep touched him before the lick animation could complete, and that went from a very, very safe Dahaka to a very, very dead Dahaka. The panic was there, but it wasn't enough, and sometimes the margins really are that narrow. It was so close that they actually got the lick on cooldown, but they didn't lick hard enough for it to actually go off chance.
Okay, so with this, boss is pushing down top lane, but the minions are still pushed right back. That's going to mean that the web weavers spawn right back there, unfortunately. The rest of the waves have a camp in them. Siege camp in the bottom, bruiser camp in the mid. It doesn't matter though. Blue team are just all about ending in this top lane. They have a boss, they have the pressure, and Dahaka can only burrow through one location. This bush up here. This is what we're going to keep our eyes on as Chromie starts the siege with a good sandblast to the face of these red team structures.
Yeah, a lot of siege, a lot of pressure coming out here. Unfortunately, Morganis isn't the best tank to dive under buildings, as he does need to sort of sustain himself. Bishops is able to avoid the trap, though. A huge shield comes out. There is an ISO on top of it, but the bunker is going to provide safety. That, however, has bought so much time, and because the wave was so pushed in, the web weaver still hasn't made it before the boss has gone down. This is not going the way of Team Liquid Metal. They have to stay, they have to fight, but they know that their days are numbered. A nice health swap means they can play for Johanna, though. Out of nowhere, the tank has fallen. Lapaka not expecting to be a threat, and the Ancestral not in time. The copium is flowing here right now. Liquid Metal 5v4. They've got a little bit of a web weaver. They've taken a keep. Are they going to try and end right now, or are they going to say, actually, do you know what? The map is technically favored for us. We don't have to be aggressive. Commander Rex does need to be careful. Bishops can't quite get a lick off.
Oh, the Counter-Strike having been used means the Blaze can come in. There's so much happening. They have to blink away, but it's going to be all the lights out for Cassia as they can now try and get onto this core. Still, this lightning surge every single time is poking so much, and if it lands on those squishy heroes, it is a lot of damage. Argus avoiding the rest of their front line as they auto-attack this core. Their shields are slowly going down. They can maybe make a play for the end, but it's 10 seconds until Johanna's back. Chromie's in a bit of danger. Harkness has no mana, and I think they might not be looking to end just yet, as Bishops did miss the isolation. We might have a turnaround instead for the Blues.
Bottom lane, the keep has only 60 HP, as that wave wasn't quite enough to take it out, but kills here means that fact won't matter. Harkness is and in. The Morganis is going to go down. The question really is, can he buy enough time for his team to leave? But Argus on the Tracer is going to get the recall off. Is it going to be enough? Klapaka actually going down here, and Harkness has lived. What a turnaround, but Dahaka says you're all so low. Nobody is leaving. Valar is going to get picked off here by Bishops. Is there more? The dinosaur is lurking. The knockback is going to trap Mal'Ganis. A blink goes in, but oh no, did he get enough damage off? Lopak, oh no, he does not. He goes down. What a fantastic CC. Jaranushka going down as well. It is 3 against 2 on this map right now. And Bishops on that Dahaka is just like, team, please, I just want to eat all of them.
Bishops here cursing the fact that the Hanzo was banned out. They know that they would be there. Argus going in for the blank, but they don't manage to have it. Bishop's still in the sidelines here. Doesn't get the isolation off. Commander X able to dodge it, and Renella will go down here as well. There's not a good end condition for any team right now, but at least Tracer and Chromie might try and find something as Bishops comes out of the shadows every single time. It's so scary. Oh my gosh, the sleep onto the blinked Alarak to make sure he goes down to 0 HP is absolutely insane.
Yeah, a little bit aggressive maybe from the Alarak blinking in there, as got slightly jump scared by a camp respawning massive in the screen trans. Have you ever had that one before? Sometimes.
It's the big owl from Tyrande is often my one. But this, I mean, the blue team not being able to end here. They have 43 gems. It's a small gem lead. They have the structure lead, technically. There's not a lot to this. Hang on, how much HP has that got? 38 HP. So the macro advantage isn't really on their side, but they are looking to get a 4v5 engage before the Cassia is up.
No such thing as half a catapult, though. A 38 HP keep does not have catapult spawn against it, but this Johanna might be a little bit deep. The loop goes out. She is going to take a lot of punishment here. The shield whiffs. Oh no, Lopaka needs the ancestral. It will go through. The counter-strike damage is big. Johanna scams her way to safety, but the 5-man stun, the Mal'Ganis proving its worth. And as Bishops comes back, he looks at his team and goes, what happened, guys? Where did we all go? The blue team are going to march onto core, and I think we are going to get ourselves a game 3 transparent.
Oh, what an ending to that as well. This has been through thick and thin. 29 kills to 15. Team Liquid Metal will even up this series 1-1, and it's what a semi-final of the ages we have here in the X Cup.
And breathe.
Yeah, you might have all heard me breathing. Johanning even, maybe coming out here from the Mal'Ganis, of course. I mean, I don't even... 26-minute long Tomb game. I talked about how it'd be a late game one. I talked about how we're going to have that potential pop-off later on, and we saw Team Liquid Metal doing what they needed. Yes. Game number 3, Garden of Terror in this best of 3 series for our semi-final of Qualifier 2 of the X Cup.
And if you've been watching us up until this point and you've been thinking, man, these qualifiers look a lot of fun, I really want to win myself an Egg Cup, or man, if only someone would win me an Egg Cup, you can still get signed up. There is one more qualifier to come. It is live on the website.
Yeah, it is.
Live now. Huge. Fantastic. If you want to head on over there, that is our final qualifier. So if you haven't played yet and you don't play then, that's it. No more chances. You need to get yourself into the top 6 teams. So 1 point isn't going to cut it. But looking at that sort of 4-5 point mark, that's where you're starting to feel quite safe. So you could definitely qualify off of just that 3rd qualifier if you put in a really impressive showing.
Yeah, and definitely are some impressive players out there. Talk previous winners of an X Cup is HGC player Poik. So anyone can win the X Cup, including ex-HGC players. That was, of course, in 2021, and I think Poik came back just for that tournament as a personal favour. It was great.
What a legend. We love Poik. What a guy.
So you could be in the echelons of an HGC player.
You could be as cool as Poik.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's at least 8 out of 10 cool.
Hang on, I don't know. The X Cup example is, I can quickly add it to this draft soon. And this
Trans finds us a lovely Egg Cup to have a little look at. Dahaka's been first picked here on Garden of Terror, and I'm not surprised. Bishops ran absolute riot with that hero last maps, carrying 4v5s for them. But we've had Blaze and Sylvanas as the answer, Trans.
Yeah, and we did have the Sylvanas banned out in the second rotation in game number 2. Harkness, though, gets their Garrosh. I think that's one of their top played heroes, and that's what has been banned out consistently instead of this Falstad. But, you know, sometimes you have to worry about the Falstad. Still, Tracer is that hero that we have seen in game number 2. Tracer definitely is a hero that can be played on Garden of Terror. Are they considering picking up now pre-bans? Or are they trying to wait till afterwards? And it's going to be the Brightwing instead, maybe trying to dissuade anyone from the red team from taking it.
One of my all-time favorite Garden games was played with an Abba Tracer Muradin, where we accidentally just killed our opponent's 3v5 whilst watching our teammates feed. It's hilariously how strong Tracer is at just controlling space on the map and saying, okay, you have an advantage, but do you really think you can walk somewhere where you can gain that advantage? Brightwing, though, is a nice pickup, and there you go. With Brightwing removed as an answer, Tracer is going to be banned out there. I think they wanted to have the support mobility more than they wanted the Tracer. If they do pick the Tracer, Brightwing almost certainly gets picked away, or they have to ban it themselves. And now they're kind of stuck with a choked healer pool. Anduin can get banned out in that phase. Rhaegar can get taken by their opponents if they ban the Brightwing. They're kind of looking at healers that can be easy dive targets.
Yeah, of course, they get a bit of global advantage here as well with Brightwing. You know, they've already got the Dahaka and they've doubled it. Out comes a Tyrande and a Zagara here from the side of Watchparty. And Zagara's, you know, this is one of the few maps that Zagara can do a lot of pressure. It's a very big map that has good rotational around. We had that Chromie come out game number 2, and it did definitely get some good picks. And with the tank pick being a last pick here for Watchparty, I wonder if there's going to be adaptation there. Johanna's definitely still available, but Tyrande can't cleanse. Chromie's heroic.
No, again, Chromie being held here till we see that healer and then punishing that lack of cleanse like it did in game 1. And that's why we didn't need to show our tank, because Stitches wanted to play.
Yeah.
And that has changed the dynamic of this draft somewhat.
It was in my head. I was thinking, you're last picking a tank. It surely is Stitches. It's surely Stitches. You wouldn't do it otherwise. Johanna's available. You could pick that instead of a Zagara. You could pick it instead of Tyrande. But Stitches is there. They are going for a 1-2 shot here with Stitches hook into Tyrande's stun, and then Sylvanas damage and maybe some Banelings right in your bottom as you try and walk away from that hook. Of course, though, Luca, predictions are up and available above the chat, and I've said it before. I don't mind if you don't follow. Don't mind if you don't subscribe. Don't mind. I would like you to donate to Movember, ideally, but I really want you to predict in the predictions. We like to have a bit of fun, and you know, Team
We like
Liquid
a bit of fun.
Have a good.
You got to get engaged. You know, you want to know. We want to know. Put your points where your money in your mouth is. I am not too tired to speak. But anyone who suggested so is a silly Billy.
Let's get into it then, Luca. Game number 3 here, Garden of Terror. Team Liquid Metal on the blue side after a phenomenal game number 2. They are Argus on Greymane, Harkness on the Garrosh, Captain Rex on Brightwing, Valar on the Dahaka, and Commander Rex on Chromie. Oh, showing off their taunts as well.
And our red team, they looked oppressive in map 1, but they had their bluff called in map 2. Can they bring it back? Ranella on a Tyrande. We're going to have Bishops on that. Stitches, Lapaka on a Sylph, Daranishka on Zagara and Blaze. Nope. 3 for 3. Still not a clue.
I mean, I love that Watchparty. You know, they are very good players, and they are rotating through who plays what. You know, it's very nice to see, and this is what, you know, the tournaments I make are all about. They're not about these big moments all the time. They're not about the highest level ever. They're having a little bit of fun, and you're playing for an egg cup. You might as well enjoy yourself. And what a game 2 that was. And I love to see games like game 2. Hook comes out, doesn't quite connect. Moranis commits the Blaze jet propulsion. But we are off to a flying start with both Sylvanas and Greymane in the off lanes.
Yeah, nice bit of pressure here from the macro side. Valar is thinking about playing for the Packer, but needs to be careful because he is not alone up here. 4-man rotation, or 4-man team in the top side. Harkness falling low. The Brightwing is just about there in time. I think he would have gone down without that teleport, but Ranella's D is already out and about, and it's flapping on those building strands.
Yeah, it's so hard to know when Garrosh has got phenomenal amounts of armor, especially at low HP. We do, by the way, have the Might of the Banshee Queen, so not any percentage damage coming out from Sylvanas. It is all just that immediate burst on any squishy target that comes their way, I'm sure. As Harkness falls a little bit lower here, they're going to be having to walk away as best as they can. A good little bit of pixie dust gives them the movement speed that they absolutely needed. And Bishops finding out their hook isn't quite as long as they thought. They might need to wait till level 13 to make those sorts of plays.
We've all been there before, whipping the hook out, and it just doesn't quite have the range that you were hoping it would. Chances it's not as long as maybe you promised it was earlier.
I tell you, it gets bigger, and then it will be quite impressive. As we have Harkness gets hooked in, it's a good stun, it's a good follow-up of the damage of Commander X. And we know that this...
I was going to say, can you tell that the caster sanity is fading? As this is a huge Sylvanas-based push topside. That key fort wall is definitely going to fall. Interestingly, though, they get the D out early. They don't want to hold it for the fort. And a nice hook, though, onto the Garrosh means they might not have needed to hold it onto that fort. He is going to fall, has to hang out near Brightwing to get that heal over time. And it looks like it is just about going to be enough. Much more value gained up here than Greymane could in the bottom lane with the...
And there is our first kill of the game. Great hook here from Bishop. Some superb follow-up from Renella. But they don't have a lot of mana to stick around here. And the blue team might try and do something fancy.
Oh, but the something fancy might be onto that Ronda. What a fantastic triple hit by Commander X. And Captain Rex stepping up on that there little Brightwing. I lost my words as I did a bad accent trans.
Captain Rex actually
going down as well.
A double kill for Captain Rex here with the Brightwing. Valar with a good follow-up. I mean, I was going to say so much about how we know that the Red Team are this early game team, both in playstyle and heroes, but this is a good cleanup here for Team Liquid Metal as they try to do as much siege damage as they can in the other lanes. But they've got Dehaka up here instead of Greymane, as Greymane is clearing out the waves in mid and bot.
It's interesting. I think that the Red Team actually have a much more potent late game comp compared to their opponents, with the potential to get hungry for more at 20. The Zagara 16 damage spike, and Taronda just generally scaling more as she finds talents that increase her burst and make her more annoying. I think probably we'll see that the Red Team are going to get a little bit stronger, unlike last game when they definitely were very focused around that early rotation.
Yeah, so Sylvanas and Blaze pick up the seed almost immaculately, which is not what we see very often in high-level games. You often see those seeds really being weighted out. But this time, good efficiency. Maybe, realized there was nothing better to do on the map for the time being and just wanted to get a little bit of an advantage. Of course, as you say, I think that obviously the blue team are spiking now with a Chromie Heroic. They'll get a little bit of good value at level 10. Post 13, Stitch's hook getting so long will be the value play. As Stitch is looking to maybe get body blocked here, Harkness can't quite get on them as they become very slippery and unable to be slowed with that Putrid Bile trait.
Worth thinking about some macro insight as Sylvanas is just ripping a hole in that bottom fort. I think when you have a Stitches comp, you don't want the objective to be on your side of the map, because if your opponents walk up to an objective, that is a very easy hook that you can play for. And if your hook, if your objective's on your side, you're never getting that hook. Topaka's done a very nice little escape there from the two globals.
Yeah, I mean, this is like a classic Smurf play. Sylvanas in the off lane just getting macro. Compared to coming to the team fights. You're like, why aren't you coming to the team fights that we're sort of doing okay but losing at? And it's like, well, I've just got a free fort, basically. Argus, a little bit of trouble. Good dodging here on that hook, but having to tank a little bit of damage from Zagara as this top fort does go down to those last little minions of the Zerg Queen.
Bottom lane, meanwhile, a lot more aggression going on here too. Captain Rex getting a little bit low, and Sylv is going to be able to step up and finish off this fort now as well. Blaze just making enough space for them to control this, and here we go. Look at this. It's like Luca was right or something, stepping up to try and get a hook, but maybe stepping up too much. The loop is going to catch Stitches out, and with adjusted to Ronda, Stitches is not getting saved. Fortunately for Renella, there is no more throw. The more catching both frontliners. Blaze does have the stun available. Can they get counter pressure? That's a double kill, and Moore is such a strong ultimate still in this game, Trans.
Can they get counter pressure? Absolutely, Luca. A double more with a Blaze follow-up. Pre-13. Blaze hasn't even got the damage yet. And we are just seeing how much it is when they coordinate here. Having both external forts on the top and bottom lane is going to be an absolute nightmare now. Dahak is going to be having to clear them out a lot of the time by himself. Fortunately, he is a global. But, you know, if the red team get the objective, it's suddenly going to become a lot more valuable than it potentially could have done in the past.
Yeah, no, there is definitely Dahaka in the near lane and Brightwing, or Brightwing in the near lane, Dahaka in the far as an option. As a big hook gorge comes down onto Greymane, he is not going to get out of there. The Sylvanas auto went on a little bit of an adventure, but it did catch them in the end.
Yeah, big play here by the Blaze as well, who interrupted the teleport onto Garrosh. Who would have, you know, Brightwing still would have been able to heal up that Greymane a little bit with some pixie dust and, of course, blink heal. But because of the Blaze stun and the no Brightwing coming to the team fight.
There it is. Gather the seed.
Yeah, no, just over too quickly, I think. Once the hook gorge comes down, it's such a scary Brightwing teleport. Maybe you do get there, but usually when you get there, all that ends up happening is you donate yourself alongside whoever gets caught. But seed count going up 2-1 here as Downishka is going to clean that up, and the Sylph does need to be a little bit careful of this.
Yeah, Garrosh in a little bit of trouble. Does get stunned themselves, but they are putting on the pressure onto Stitches as the blue team focus the big guy. Sylvanas comes in to focus them. So many health bars falling low. Argus might be in trouble, and the more lands on 2. We know what happens next. Out comes the big Blaze stun, and it's 2 more dead here for the blue team. Make that 3 as 4 whole members are down for the Blues.
Bishop's hook now coming out at maximum length. What a fantastic catch there onto Chromie, and this is going to be a difficult position for the blue team to come back from. They showed teeth in this best of 3, but their backs are firmly against the wall now, Trans.
Yeah, level 12 to level 14. I know it gets late over there in some of the eastern countries, and they might want to start wrapping this series up to get to that grand final tonight in time, but this is going to start becoming brutal. Level 13, of course, has that elongated hook, the fishing hook of Stitches. And level 16 will only be more pain for Garrosh, as we do see a good attempt here, and Bishops will be brought right back. No way. No way.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Insane use of the unstoppable frames here of the Gorge here. Still, they do go down in disbelief of me, potentially. Harkness falls low. Blacker goes in. It's a good polymorph, though. They will cost them their lives, but there's stun after stun. Big AoEs from both Blaze and Taronda, and the blue team are scattered. They are divided, and all the red team need to do is conquer. However, the Blues have managed to escape this time as Brightwing goes for the body blocks, then the blink heal. The slow comes out. They might have another blink heal in 1 second, and the red team are just closing down on the rest of them.
Yeah, but Greymane is still trapped out here. Going to be another 3 seconds or so on his E. It is up. He just about finds the dash to safety, but Zagara's damage is too much. The escape was not great enough. Can Rex scam Downishka? No, he cannot. The button's not up and available, and this is going to be an objective knocking on the doors of some keep strands.
I mean,
it's going to be a difficult hold.
Really, like, these team fights go on for so long. The red team are relentless every single time. It doesn't matter if one hero goes down. They think, you know, we've got more heroics, we've got more damage. We win these fights over time. We will trade 1 hero for 2, for 3. We will keep going. And this seed now going over to the side of the red team. Bishop's trolling Blaze here a little bit. Potentially saying, no, you need to be back at the base a little bit later than that. Time your Hearthstone correctly, please.
What are you doing, Bishops? Unbelievable.
But Webweavers, Garden Terrors now coming into the lanes, and Red One actually going really far back compared to where they thought they were going to go in the game's code. Level 16s are here, though. And although this mid keep is under pressure, Brightwing does get hooked. The Gorge comes out as well. Harkness pushing forward to try and be in range for a blink heal. They will be able to do it, but it's a really good follow-up. They're going to die inside that Maw, but Taronda is traded out for it as Harkness now looks without a healer. The red team might be a bit more vulnerable still. Haplaka and Blaze able to pick up a Greymane off screen, and it's a great hook into follow-up here. There's just so much damage, so much stun, and Valar will be in grave danger here. Make that Commander Rex as an instant wailing arrow to the face is death, death, death for the Blues.
Yeah, the position of the blue team collapsing here as we're going to see our red team marching on to that core. Now the Watch Party are going to be finalists in this, our second Nexus Rumble qualifier transparent.
It's an X Cup qualifier. The Nexus Rumble has infected Luca's brain. Yes, the red team are looking at this core. They're still going for the kills though. They don't know if it's absolutely confirmed. It's 90% there. Well, 85% as we do see Brightwing go down. The red team have the web weavers on here. This is going to be GG. Our grand finalists are certainly going to be Watch Party here in the X Cup. Yes, they're going to be going through to the finals. I'm not sure who they're playing against. Hopefully the other teams have finished. We have no clue who it is. Literally no clue what went over there, as we had such a good series here. Let's award those points for those who did get involved and do some predictions. Unfortunately, nobody predict for Watch Party, so we will just delete. We'll return the points. It could have been your points back at home. Chromie here, topping of the damage, but it was such a brief game that Zagara actually top hero damage in the game. Not what you expect at all.